just record. Okay, let me start over. So I'm just gonna make a small demo, a short demo on how to create a computer vision model with just a few steps. And then we are going to put that model into a website that can be hosted by GitHub. And yeah, anyone can connect to that website and play around with our model. So I'm gonna start sharing my screen. Gonna start sharing my screen any minute now. And the first thing that I'm going to do, and I'm going to do this the first thing because it takes some minutes to launch the website. I mean, when you create a website from GitHub, it takes some minutes to launch it. And in order not to make you waste time with this, I'm just gonna start creating it now. So the first thing that you have to do when you if you want to create a GitHub page is, of course, go to GitHub. I'm gonna create a new repository, and I'm gonna name it, I don't know, AI core teachable machine, which is the page that we are going to take a look at now. Just make it public, and I'm just gonna add the README file. Nothing fancy, you already know how to do it. Harry made a demo very like this earlier today, so you're more than familiar with this. So yeah, once you created the repo, you can go to settings, click here on pages, and tell that the page is going to store or is going to point to your main branch. Once you click on save, it's going to start publishing your website. I'm just going to create an index here. Oh, sorry, that's not the one that I wanted to visit here. I'm just going to create an index HTML. So whenever we connect to our website, then it will just show us whatever we have in that index. So I'm going to add a small file here. And very important, please don't do this. Don't modify any file, or don't create files in your GitHub repository. It's not a really good practice, but in this case, this is a demo. So let's do that. And I'm just gonna type here, this is a test index, something like that. Commit new file. And I'm not sure if it's already launched. And the reason why I try to make this the first step is just to show, just in case it needs some time to load. But let's check that out. Oh yeah, it's working fine. So now anyone can go to this website. Let me just put this into the chat. Chat's here. And yeah, you can visit that website. You are not going to see anything. The only thing, probably the only thing that you're seeing now is the README file, but it's basically empty. So nothing to worry about. And okay, so let's start creating the model. I have prepared a couple of figurines, a couple of plushies. So we are going to play around with a couple of friends. Let's say, oh, sorry, let's see how many people here know who this is. Sorry, I actually can see all of you, so I'm not sure if anyone's actually seeing something. Well, does anyone know?
Oh, Kirby.
Yes, thank you. All right, so I'm gonna try to detect if the camera knows when Kirby appears on, appears on camera, or when Pikachu appears on camera. Okay, so let's go to the website that I've mentioned a couple of times now, and the website is called Teachable Machine. Teachable Machine. Just click on the first link, and it will direct you to this fantastic website where you can create models based on, let's take a look, based on the image that you have on your webcam, based on some signal that is detected from the microphone, or it can also detect your body position, your pose, well, the pose of your body. But in this case, I'm just gonna create an image project. And yeah, here you can choose between a standard image, so the one from your webcam that is going to be connected to your computer, or this embedded image model, which is good if you are working with small devices. For example, if you are familiar with Raspberry Pis or Arduinos, this is a great, you can also deploy this model into those microcontrollers. But yeah, once again, we are using a computer, so let's click this one. And for this part, I'm gonna need to turn off my camera from Zoom. And I'm gonna use the camera here. Okay, so here we are going to define 3 different classes. And before we start training, I just wanted to ask you one thing. First thing is that, yeah, this is going to detect what's on camera. So for example, the final idea will be if I put Kirby on front of the camera, the model should know that Kirby is in front of the camera. And if I put Pikachu in front of the camera, then the model should know that the Pikachu is in front of the camera. So based on that, who can tell me what type of model we have here? What type of algorithm?
Is it binary classifier?
Almost there, almost. But I mean, yeah, in that case, sorry. Yeah, in that case, actually it will be binary. But I'm gonna put a third class just to tell it that there's nothing remarkable on camera. So if it's not binary, well, what could be the other alternative?
Boolean.
Sorry, say that again.
Boolean.
Multi-class.
Yeah, exactly, multi-class. So yeah, we are going to deal with a multi-class classifier. And yeah, let's start training that. It's going to be, you are going to see that this is going to take less than 5 minutes. So in order to train, or at least this is going to ask me to put some images that correspond to Kirby, for example. The first class that we are going to use, as I mentioned, is going to be Kirby. The second class is going to be Pikachu. And the third class, let's say that's going to be just my face, like nothing else. So I'm gonna write random, something like that. Okay, so we can just use the camera, and and one thing that you have to take into account when you're training a model, especially in computer vision, is that you have to give it as many samples as possible. So if I put just Kirby like this, my model is only going to detect, or is going to assume that Kirby only appears on camera if it has this position. So ideally, I have to move Kirby around, give it some twist it a little bit, just to tell the model that Kirby can appear in many different positions. So I'm gonna do that now. I'm gonna click here. Well, I'm gonna hold to record different images, and you can see that they are being added to the collection, just different positions, different angles, different, yeah. Okay, that should be enough for now. Let's do the same with Pikachu. And it's a little bit blurry, but for this demo, it should be enough. So yeah, we have, as I mentioned, different positions, different angles. Just tilt it a little bit. That should do it. And now, without any plushie, without any figuring, just me, I'm just gonna move my head around. Cool. All right. I think that will do it. Yeah. The more images you add, the better the training step will be. But yeah, this is just a demo. You can experiment with this as much as you can. It's completely free, so you can do as many models as you want. So I'm gonna press on train model. This is going to take just 1 minute. to train the whole model. During, I think usually it goes to 50 epochs, but yeah, you will see that even though it's only 50, well, actually 50 epochs is not that bad, but yeah, you will see that even though it takes less than 1 minute, the results, the output are quite good. So while we're waiting for this, what idea do you have for this, for using this teachable machine tool? Do you have any project in mind now? Anything at all? Like, do you have like, if you had some sort of computer vision project in mind, do you have something that you think you can do now with this teachable machine thing?
I thought of an idea once about incorporating into weather forecasting where the sky was clear or had certain cloud types. I was thinking about doing that.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you have a camera, you can point to the sky.
Yeah, certain, like, you have to gather it up. So just like we could start with clear sky and clouded, and that was quite an easy one. That'd be quite useful for the weather forecasting.
Yeah, that would be a really good project. And yeah, I really encourage you to go to this website, make any project. You can see that it has already trained. And if I put Kirby here, look at that, 100% probability that is Kirby. And if I put picture, you can see that this model is super easy to train and to create. Okay, and look at that. I spent like almost 15 minutes just to train the whole thing, to train the model, to create the website on GitHub page. There's no excuse not to, well, sorry, you have no excuse for not going here and start experimenting by yourself. And yeah, that forecast, well, the weather forecast project will be a really good idea. Whenever I think about this type of project with the camera, I just think about myself. Probably I'm a little bit of a self-centered freak, but anyway. So yeah, we can see that it's working fine. We can start using it anywhere now. And to start using it outside this website, we can export the model. And now we have three options. We have TensorFlow, JavaScript, well, TensorFlow JS, just TensorFlow. And this one will be, I will make another demo probably next week with TensorFlow, which will basically a model that we can download and start using in our local machine. Using Python and more specifically using Keras, which is a high-level API from TensorFlow. And also we also have TensorFlow Lite, which is basically is used for small devices such as I mentioned before, doing our Raspberry Pi. But in this case, we are just going to use the JavaScript one because we are going to embed this model into the web web page from GitHub. So first of all, you need to remember this one because I always forget. Remember to upload the model. And now the model that I have created right now has a code here. You can see that a code has been generated, and this code corresponds to the model that I just created. So yeah, we can copy the whole thing. Go back to oh yeah, this one. Go back to the repo that we created before and create a new file. Once again, please don't do this. Don't create files on your GitHub repository. In this case, I'm just gonna create a new file called herebpika.html, and I'm just gonna paste the whole thing we had before. Okay, so nothing else. Just like that, we are creating a page in which anyone can connect to and start playing around with the model we created. So I'm gonna commit that, and yeah. Now it will take a couple of minutes just to go to the, well, just for the page to load this HTML code. But yeah, let's give it a go. So once again, you can go to pages. This is going to show you now, now it's actually showing the index we had before. And after that, you can type the name of the file you have just generated, you have just uploaded. So in my case, it was kirby-pika.html. Oops. I don't know if it will work now. Oh yeah, there you go. It was quick. It's really fast. So let me just zoom in a little bit. And if you press start, you are going to have the same model. So let me allow that. Cool. So yeah, you have the same things here. Random guy, 100% probability. If I put picture, yeah, it's working fine. And you can try this out on your own machines. I'm gonna post it on the chat. What's the chat? There you go. And anyone can go to that website and start playing around with this model. Hopefully someone has another figurine from Pikachu or from Kirby. Otherwise, yeah, you can find something remotely similar to Kirby just to make it work. And okay, so one more thing that we can do with the model that I just created is tweaking it a little bit. So now it's only telling us that what's the probability of Pikachu being on the screen, or what's the probability of Kirby being on the screen. But we can do a little bit more than that. So let me stop this. Well, actually, let's go back. And we can tweak this a little bit. So for example, one thing that I thought about is that whenever Kirby appears on screen, we can play the sound that Kirby usually does. So let me show you. Where's here? Okay, I'm gonna play. Let's see if it has sound. No. Okay, just give me a sec. In this case, oh, there we go. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Cool. So that's what the sound that Kirby does, and this is the sound that Pikachu does. So yeah, how can we do that? We can just go to this HTML code and tweak it a little bit. So let's modify it. Let's edit the file. Sorry. And well, first of all, what I did before the demo was uploading those files, those MP3 files, to an S3 bucket. And in order not to spend a lot of time just coding, I created, well, I have here a template for that. So yeah, in this case, we are just going to generate I'm gonna define, yeah, there we go. I'm gonna define two variables, Kirby sound and Pikachu sound. And those are going to read the MP3 file from the S3 bucket. And we are going to tell the model, or well, the website, to display those sounds based on the prediction that the model is doing. So if we take a look at the model that we obtained earlier, we can see here a function called predict. And yep, this is going to make predictions, and it's going to print out that prediction and the probability of the class to be the one that is actually showing on screen. So yeah, let me tweak it a little bit. In this case, it's basically saying, well, sorry, you don't have to learn, of course, JavaScript. This is just a demo. Next week, I'm gonna use a similar thing, well, a similar model, but instead of tweaking that into JavaScript, I will use a Python code. so anyone can actually play around with that. But since we are on a demo, yeah, I just wanted to make everything a little bit shorter. So in this case, I'm just gonna copy paste some stuff that I have here prepared. So this should look like this. Now, what I'm saying this is that if the first label of the prediction, which was Kirby, is greater than 70%, then do all of this. Then just reproduce the sound made by Kirby. Otherwise, reproduce the sound. Well, if the label corresponding to the second class is greater than 0.7, then reproduce the sound made by Pikachu. And I'm just gonna define a couple of auxiliary variables just to call for that sound, because otherwise, if I just put it like that, the sound is going to reproduce in an infinite loop. Cool, there we go. I think that looks fine. Awesome. All right, so yeah, my GitHub is telling me that I made a push. Sorry, I made a commit. And now, yeah, it's going to take a little bit to update the HTML code inside the website. But yeah, let's see if it doesn't take too much. It's gonna go again here, and here we pick up. One thing that you can do, and since most of you already know how to make web scraping, taking a look at inspect, and here we can see the JavaScript code that I created before. So yeah, in this case, still not updated. You can see that there's nothing here talking about Pikachu or Kirby. So I'm gonna refresh, and luckily it will be updated. Yeah, it looks like now we can see function Kirby stop. Looks like it's going to work fine. Let's give it a go. Okay, for some reason it doesn't want to start. Is it because I have something? Oh, maybe it's because I have the webcam here. Well, anyway, let's refresh and press start. Okay, for some reason it's not working now. Interesting. Not sure what's going on. Okay, that's weird. That's quite strange. I'm not sure why the button is not working now. But good thing about it is that I always come with a backup plan. So I'm gonna show you the same thing, but with a demonstration that I already have prepared. So let me press here. Allow, yep. All right, yeah, in this case, I only have like two different labels. I didn't put myself in the labels. So whenever I put Pikachu in front of the camera, yeah, it's going to reproduce that sound. Otherwise, it's going to. And I'm gonna stop it because it's starting to getting annoying. Okay, cool. Yeah, that was it. It's sorry about that. Sorry, I'm not sure why this is not working anymore. Let me try that again, because I'm not sure if it's because like I just messed up with the code or something. But yep, looks like I probably have deleted something. I have deleted something accidentally from the code. But yeah, apart from that, is there any question, guys?
Can you use like a video, let's say from YouTube, or does it have to be from your camera, if that makes sense?
Yeah, I mean, for this For training the model, you mean, or?
No, I just mean to like, because you just need some kind of moving like images. Could they be pre-recorded moving images that you've got from elsewhere imported as a file?
Yeah.
Or do they have to be from your webcam specifically?
I mean, for training, you can use either your webcam, or you can also upload a video using this. You can see that here I can use my webcam, or I can upload a file. And yeah, you can just upload a set of images, and all of those images are going to be used for training the model. And then if you want to use the model for if you want to use the trained model for reading one of your videos, then you will have to tweak your code. In this case, yeah, it's going to get access to the camera. So that's why it's basically asking me for permission about my camera, and it's not even asking me about do you want to upload a video or whatever. So yeah, you can see that here basically it's going to take it's going to take images from the camera basically. Yep, webcam container, blah blah blah, all of that. But if
So
you want
it's conceivable though that you could do it where you train it with something, some kind of, just some kind of uploaded thing, and then you upload another thing and see, does this fit into my kind of categories?
Yep, yeah, absolutely. That's
right.
Correct.
Cool.
Actually, if you go and start learning deep learning, that's basically how you are going to train a model, and then you can test it. I reckon that I not only reckon, I think that that training videos, or sorry, using videos for making predictions is quite difficult, because you will have to use some sort of neural networks that also have to take into account like the time, because you know that a video is basically a sequence of images in time. But that doesn't mean that you can't. It's simply difficult.
Okay. So
Cool, great question. Okay, anything else? We're about to finish the session, so if you any question that you have. Okay, other than that, yeah, please go ahead, visit this website, Teachable Machine. Okay, and start creating your projects, start creating something that you can showcase. Just make some short videos or short demos like this one, and then upload that into to LinkedIn, just to, I don't know, make other people aware of your skills in machine learning or deep learning. And yeah, this is always a good idea, to get more people know your profile, especially, and this kind of things especially draw a lot of attention.
Can I ask a really quick question, Ivan?
Yeah, sure.
What's like a real world example where this would be used?
Yeah. Well, I will show you now. But we are running out of time. But I was actually planning on doing that next week. Okay. And one thing that I did when I was playing around with this was basically trying to detect whether you have a. Oh, sorry, I don't have my camera on. Oops, sorry. There we go. So it was basically trying to detect if you have a mask or not. So if you don't have a mask on your face, then it can, I don't know, it can emit a sound, it can reproduce like some sort of beep, or it can just, let's imagine that you cannot go into a store if you don't have your mask on. So one thing that you can do is configure your Arduino or your Raspberry Pi just to close doors if someone without a mask is approaching the store. And otherwise, if it sees someone with a mask, then it can open the door. Does that make sense?
Yeah, nice. Yeah.
Cool. Yep,
Just another
sorry.
quick question, if
Mhm.
there's time. When you said about, for example, posting stuff like this on LinkedIn, are you talking about like how do you logistically do that? Is that posting the code or posting sort of a video that shows how it works?
Oh, in my case, for example, I just uploaded some videos. Just
Yeah,
uploaded
okay, so
a
like-
video
like the
like
demo you
of
had.
myself, and then I edited it.
Yeah, okay, that's just interesting to know.
Yeah, if you follow me on LinkedIn, you could probably see some of the videos that I used to upload, and some of them were generated with this tool, with Teachable machine. But although yeah, there was I had some other videos that I used a Python library called MediaPipe, and let me show you very quickly, because that's a really powerful one. MediaPipe page, and yeah, this is basically something like what I showed you just now, but let's say it's something similar but on steroids, because you will have it will detect landmarks on your face, landmarks on your hands, body position in a much more accurate way, and object detection, image segmentation. Well, this is not something of the scope of this demo, but yeah, segmentation, object detection, holistic tracking, all of that belongs to subfields of image processing, or, well, sorry, not image processing, computer vision. So yeah, you can download this package or library into Python and start playing around. Also, it's completely free. So yeah, that's no excuse not to start playing around with this.
Okay, brilliant. Thanks.
Cool. Thank you. Okay, guys, anything else?
See you on Monday.
I'm sorry.
See you on Monday then.
Okay, yeah. All right, yeah. Have a nice weekend. And yeah, I'll stay here a little bit longer if you have any other question. So yeah, feel free to ask me anything. Just gonna stop recording now.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.